I'm Brian Van, sportbiketrackgear.com, and today we're going to do a Graves cat Eliminator exhaust install on our 2015 Yamaha YZF-R1. This system is going to get rid of the muffler box, the silencer, and we're going to be able to eliminate the X-up and the servo. We will cover removing and eliminating the X-up and the servo on this motorcycle in a completely separate video. Yes, we already have a solution for that that's vetted and it fits, and I'm going to show you how to do it in another installment. Graves, titanium, carbon. This thing is absolutely gorgeous. The diamond-shaped canister, right? It's going to look great on this motorcycle. We've got titanium mid-pipe right here. Preserves the use of the O2s and everything, so this will be a good, clean install, right? It's going to create more power, better sound, and obviously better looks. After this is done, what else do we need to do? We already talked about the servo, right? We want to take care of that, make sure that light's turned off. A tune is a good idea. There's some options out there right now that we have available where you're able to tune your own ECU with a fully developed map from Graves. You buy the kit, you're able to do it yourself, right, on your own home PC, piece of cake. If you need to revert the map back, you're able to do that. We'll have a video covering that very, very soon. But for now, we're going to install the cat Eliminator exhaust, right, on the brand new R1. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the pieces, the new parts, in a safe spot while we get to work removing the stock exhaust. Got our exhaust hanger back here. Save that, because I think we may be using that clamp down here. And off comes the canister. From here, we've got closeout panels here and here that we're going to need to remove so we can gain access. At the end of the day, this should be a pretty simple install. I don't really see this as being too troublesome, as we are not doing the header pipes. There is a full system option that will also be available. Look at that, it's actually aluminum, brushed aluminum. That looks pretty sweet. Make sure we put that somewhere where it's going to be safe. You can see we've got our O2 sensor here. This closeout panel back here, I'm going to take this one off as well because I need to get some access to the X-up valve cables. That was tight. And there are our X-up valve cable. Okay. I need to get a couple of wrenches. We're going to loosen this up and take the cables off. For now, we're just going to stow those out of the way, okay, because as I stated earlier, in a separate installment, we're going to show you how to deal with the whole X-up servo. A really good, clean solution there, and we're going to lose some weight on this motorcycle, right, when we're done with this exhaust by losing the muffler box. Okay, the canister, replacing it with the gray stuff, and then getting rid of the cables and the servo motor. We're going to definitely lose some weight on this motorcycle. And as we go through this project, I'm actually going to weigh all these pieces so I can give you all a really good idea of exactly what the weight difference was. Okay, as we go through the install, right, I took a look at it, and to get the oxygen sensor, right, unhooked on this side of the motorcycle, we're going to need to loosen up and either lift up and or remove the fuel tank. So that is going to be one of the steps, and we'll walk you through that as well. Let's go ahead and address the cables right now for that exit valve. Just going to loosen these bad boys up. And then we should be able to essentially slide these right off here. Okay, those are now out of the way. So let's focus on this gas tank. First thing we have to do is the fasteners for the seat. We've got to be able to get the rider seat off the motorcycle. I've already taken some of the pieces loose. Just kind of speed this process up a little bit. Pull the trim off on the side of the tank. And of course, the fasteners. Tank down. Trim piece here on the side. Right there. And slide that forward like so. 5mm fastener up here at the midpoint on the tank. Should give us plenty of access. Hopefully we can do this without having to take it all the way off the bike. There's going to be a fastener up here at the very front. Pull that. Yeah, we've got plenty of motion there now. And we need to come back here, and we've got the main fastener for the tank. Give myself a nut driver here. Okay. Let's see what kind of access that buys us. Oh yeah, we're in pretty good shape here. There's quite a bit of movement there once that's done. And let's go ahead and get our two. It is right here. And released. And slide that fuel tank back down. Rest in place. Okay. See if we can get this back away. And you know what we could even do, instead of actually removing this all the way from the motorcycle, is it is threaded in behind the engine here. Be a little bit of a pain. Perhaps we could even just rotate the harness here as we go. Doesn't feel like a very good option, so we're going to try this. Definitely have this packed in a very tight spot. Push that through like so. That's the tightest spot right there. What you want to try and avoid doing is putting way too much strain on the wires down here at the sensor, but I was able to, you know, kind of turn that around a little bit so we're not going to have to fish this thing all the way out, right? You know, I have in the past actually done it where, you know, I would just twist it down, you know, at the pipe. When I used to repair cars at the dealership, we'd do that all the time. Just rotate it all the way out. Honestly, you can do that, and if you're careful, you won't do any damage to the wires. You know, some folks, they don't want to do that. So if you're one of those folks, you want to be as careful as possible. You should do what I just did. We're able to rotate the harness or just slide the thing out all the way. Okay, cables are off. I've got the O2 sensor off the other side already. We've got a mounting point here yet that I need to deal with. And then we have a clamp right here. So we are getting close. We did the Moto 1 slip-on install first, and you know that, as you would imagine, is a pretty simple little bolt-on. This piece here is considerably more work. Quick release fastener there. And let's see if I can get this. Distort this just a little bit. Get into that mount. So we can move the fairing out of the way. To get access to that mounting point right there. So we don't have to remove the entire side fairing. Okay. Looks like we've got it all loose. I'll go ahead now and try to get it off the motorcycle. We go up and down as I put rearward pressure on it. And this is what we're going to be getting rid of. The muffler box with the catalyst. Go ahead and film inside there, Tyler. I don't know if you can see it or not. Actually see the honeycomb of the catalyst inside. And back here, you can also see that exhaust flapper. All right, we're going to be losing that bad boy too. So some pretty serious power gains, serious weight loss, and it is going to sound a whole lot better when we're done. We're going to take the parts down to the scale now. We're going to weigh them. I'm going to let you know what the weight difference is, and then we're going to wrap up our project. Okay, everything's off, right? We're ready to install the mid-pipe. The mid-pipe is the first piece that we're going to put on, and then of course we're going to move to the canister. Remember, this is titanium, okay? There's oil in your skin. Oil on my hands from the motorcycle as well. You get that stuff on this pipe or on the actual silencer itself, on the titanium, you start it without cleaning it, and you're going to burn all that into the surface of the titanium. It's going to look like hell. You don't want that, so remember, clean this very, very thoroughly before you start the motorcycle when you're done with the install. Okay, installation of the mid-pipe. Got a slip fit design here. I expect this to be very tight. Should be held in place then by the mount. I'm going to put just a little bit of anti-seize inside the pipe. That's something that I already had coated, right? Just a little bit on your finger, wipe it around the inside. It's just going to ensure that if you ever need to get this apart down the road, okay, like I'm talking, it sits for a year, a couple years. That's just going to make sure that you're able to do that. This is going to take a little patience. It's a really tight fit here. Wiggle it up and down, side to side, all the while putting good solid pressure on the back of the pipe to drive this thing on. Set this gas tank back down. create a whole new problem here. Just a little bit more. Okay, that looks good. Fasteners started. Remember, let's go ahead and move this fairing out of the way. And get this fastener started here. Push this out just a little bit farther. Go just a little bit more. Okay, that feels pretty good. Go ahead and run this thing down. There we go. As you can see, that takes a little effort. Be patient. This is a very tight fit up there. There actually were no clamps provided in the kit, and I feel that they're looking just for that pressed fit to seal the system up in this area. Now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to begin installing the O2 sensors. Remember, we got to do the whole deal here, right, with our harness. A little bit of a pain in the butt. Let me see. Oh, look at that. I got that thing out of here. Easier than I thought, so we're going to go ahead and thread this in. I thought that was going to be a little tougher than that to get out from behind the engine, but that didn't prove to be the case. So. Make the reinstall a little easier. Get this threaded up into place. Between the swing arm and back behind motor under the fuel tank. Move our fuel tank here out of the way once again. And there's the O2 plug. Okay, that is plugged back in, all back in place. Drop our tank back on, take a quick look under there, make sure we don't have any kinking of the fuel lines. That would obviously create a slight fuel delivery issue. We need to involve our fasteners, of course, back in our fuel tank. Some trim to put together. We've got the O2 sensor on the other side of the bike. Walk around the other side right now and kind of give you an idea of what that looks like on the other side. Okay, now we're going to put the sensor back on this side. Like I said, that mid-pipe, man, that was a tight slip fit when Graves was developing this. You know, they determined that they were able to have a precision fit like that and save the weight of the clamp. Okay, so that is purposeful, that there was no clamp used, because it is not necessary with that slip fit. And then, of course, you have it held on in place by the mounting fastener that attaches to the bike, so held perfectly in place. This cat eliminator is a great option because you're going to get performance that literally rivals that full system, okay? Substantially less cost, and also it's a whole bunch less work because you are not changing the head pipes. Anytime you do a full system, right, and you're doing, you know, the head pipes, that adds significant time to the project. Let's go ahead and get this all threaded in there nicely. Got a couple of retainers we need to put in place here. This motorcycle is very well put together. Place there. And then we can put this other loom holder up here. Tuck that all back in like so. Okay, we've got our O2 sensors are all in place. Now we can start bolting the gas tank back down, get all that tight, get our seat on, and the closeout panels here mounted back up. When we come back, I'll be on the other side of the motorcycle. We'll be wrapping up some of the odds and ends over there, and we're going to put the canister up on the bike. Okay, I'm just going to continue reassembling the motorcycle here. Cut a little bit of this out. It is kind of like watching paint dry. You know, this is the point in the project where you just start getting eager, you know, you want to get everything wrapped up and hear what this thing's going to sound like. There's our panel there. Let's go your seat. Back down. Got a couple of panels over here. Get reinstalled. Check this. Make sure that it's tight. Do not want to lose that plug. Put a turn fastener there. A couple of closeout panels. Back on the bike here. Actually, before I put this one on, I want to get the canister on. I want to wipe this down a little bit. Switch gears here. So a little bit of anti-seize I've already wiped on the canister. Slides in. Make sure we get this on there all the way. Our exhaust servo. Cables. Okay, well, that looks a whole lot better. We've got our carbon canister clamp. Looks like they want this to run outside here, like so. I think it's going to go to the inside. Nope, we're going to have to mount this outboard of that. They have included a fastener that's pre-drilled to quick set safety wire. And there is also a nice nylock nut. So we've got all the bases covered there. Got a washer as well. Put this on the outside of the can here. Strap. And we're going to use a nut driver. Let's get that through. Very precise fit there. Safety wire that all up nicely when you're done if you choose to do so. You don't really need to because we do have the nylock nut which is going to hold it in place on its own. Okay, got one spring, and we're going to be ready to clean this up. Once we're done cleaning it up, I will install that last closeout panel. I just decided I want to leave myself plenty of access to get in there and clean this because I do not want fingerprints all over my super sweet titanium exhaust system. So let's get some cleaner and a rag. We're going to wipe this bad boy down very thoroughly. Anything you miss fingerprint wise, remember it is going to show up. So especially in the areas where you're going to be able to look through and see it. You are going to want that wiped off and gone. Excellent fitting system. Okay. We got this closeout panel here. Slides up into place like so. Not wanting to thread in there. Get this one going first. Come back to the one in the front here. There's Loctite on these from the factory. There we go. Okay. Give everything a good once over before you start it. We do have some hardware left over from the stock install, right? Save all that. It's always good to save all your OEM fasteners that are left over. And that is what it looks like when it's all done. Now for the moment of truth, the thing that we all want to do is want to hear what it sounds like. Now that sounds good. Okay, remember, exit valve, right, and cable assembly. We want to get rid of the servo. We want to get that light turned off. We have a solution for that. We will show you that. Look for that video. The next thing that I want to do too is I want to get the block off plates on the motor. The way it's set up right now, okay, if you're out there on D-cell riding, it's going to pop and fart a little bit, right, and have some flame shooting out the back. And when you get rid of that smog system, that's going to help to greatly reduce and or eliminate that. So stay tuned for those videos. This is our Graves Cat Eliminator exhaust install on our 2015 Yamaha YZF-R1.